Hello and welcome back. Review of Riverdale Season 7 Episode 4, Chapter 121, Love and Marriage. One small falsehood led to a great deal of difficulty. Who knew that two teenagers hooking up would cause such a commotion in the community? On Riverdale Season 7 Episode 4, Cheryl and Archie's secret nearly turned their worlds upside down. Riverdale High students could pause before telling their next lie. The parents were serious about how far they would go to maintain Riverdale's idyllic atmosphere. Chapter 121, Love and Marriage was a fascinating illustration of how the 1950s philosophy merged with Riverdale's penchant for soapy drama and mystery. Hasty nuptials. I'm going through phases. Achieving greatness with simple goals. Even though things were easier, it doesn't mean they weren't messy. Season 7 Episode 4 of Riverdale's red-hot romance. Example, Archie and Cheryl's deception. Cheryl's story descended into chaos in typical Blossom style, with lots of style and drama. If you thought it was terrible, their outlook only continued to get worse. For instance, why did their parents advise them to get married? Just sex, and they were still in high school. Okay, we just made it to second base, Archie. When Penelope and Clifford discovered Julian was dating other people, they most likely never panicked. His honor was, of course, without question. It was impossible not to feel sorry for Cheryl and Archie. If I were them, I'd be having panic attacks over things like when they made important decisions about their future, or the marriage test with Dr. Werther's. Riverdale Season 7 Episode 4 of Hot and Heavy. I adored how Cheryl and Archie came together in the midst of the mayhem. Although they weren't in a romantic relationship, they did grow close friends. Archie's commitment to Cheryl wasn't entirely healthy. Having a rescuer mentality in a relationship is not a good idea. But Archie's underlying nature, which he masterfully displayed in their relationship, is one of helping and protecting. Additionally, Cheryl was missing her family's lack of unconditional love and concern. She experienced that from Archie. Their ability to understand each other as friends and to love each other deeply enough to realize marriage wasn't the best choice for them was a touching growth of their characters. I'm delighted Kevin finally acknowledged his desires to himself. It didn't benefit either him or Betty to drag out their relationship. He was obviously after Clay. Kevin cheating on Betty was the last thing we needed. They took a positive stride forward when they were able to establish loving friendships. Betty's tolerance in 1955 Riverdale was remarkably forward-thinking. It was lovely and brought about a nice change in their world. Do you believe Tony's strategy for Fangs and Midge will be successful? She maintains her ambition and high standards, and for that we must give her credit. I mean, for anyone, being a wealthy and well-known singer in 4 months would be a tall dream. With Tony and her plans, no issue, she can handle this. There is a distinction between protecting someone and loving them, Arch. What if the love doesn't develop? Betty, permalink, there is a distinction between protecting someone and loving them, Arch. She can fix Fangs' issue if she can devise a pregnancy test using a frog and Midge's poop. Let's hope that when Fangs eventually succeeds, there will be some plausibility. Riverdale won't ever let Fangs and Midge down. Let's all give Julian Blossom some applause for his empathy elsewhere in Riverdale. He truly only exercised the barest forms of virtue. Jughead had to give himself a well-earned smack to the face, but he managed to act to save Ethel's life. He's still a trash man and not as classy as he believes he is. When he realized it couldn't have been Ethel, he ought to have revealed her alibi sooner. Kevin is okay, Betty. He was just there at the coffee shop. And you can be sure that he has a shoulder to weep on. An extremely strong shoulder. Also, Alice. And Betty, now that I think about it, Mom, that has been our issue the entire time. Kevin enjoys males. The murder mystery plot may at least now concentrate on identifying the proper killers. By freeing Jughead and Ethel, this choice aided the pacing and allowed us to spend less time worrying about their well-being. Season 7, Episode 3 of Riverdale, Facing the Music. The fact that Jughead and Veronica kissed was the biggest surprise of the chapter. Anyone who predicted them igniting a romance this quickly should congratulate themselves. Finally, this is your time. Jughead and Veronica had strong chemistry, much like Archie and Cheryl. They complemented each other nicely, and their gazes constantly seemed to be filled with a sense of play. And it was a change of pace for her to see Veronica put everything else aside to support Jughead. Although it's unclear if they'll endure, it's a novel and intriguing concept. Additionally, their romance got off to a good start, so it will be intriguing to see where this pairing develops. Riverdale Season 7 Episode 3, The Return of Choni, Final Thoughts from Sweetwater River. Could you sum up the supper with Mary and Archie and the Blossom family in one word? Awkward. Strangely, Alice's recommendation to Betty to support Kevin as a friend was wise. Although she had evil and manipulative intents, Betty and Kevin benefited most from her decision. If you missed the most recent Riverdale episode, you can watch it online with TV Fanatic. Return to this page and post your comments below.